Good afternoon. Today I want to show you what we've been going over this week in math class. We've been going over the standard algorithm. So the students know that first you need to start with the ones and multiply ones by ones, which is 6 times 3, which equals 18. Then we carry the 1. Then what we do is ones by 10. 6 times 8 is 48, and then we add that 1 to make it 49. We go ahead and cross out the number that we carried and cross out the number in the ones. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to add a 0 here because we're multiplying by the tens. What's 4 times 3 is 12. Carry the 1, and 4 times 8 equals 32 plus 1 is 33. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and add this. So we're going to go 8, 11, carry the 1, that becomes 8 and 3. So we come up with 3,818. Now, to check it, what we can do is go with the box method. The box method, we make this 80 and 3, and then 40 and 6. Now, we go 4 times 3, which is 12. I need to add the 0 or make this number 10 times bigger. In order to make this 10 times bigger, I make that a 0. Then I go 4 times 3, which is 32, and there are 2 zeros there. So I'm going to make this number 100 times bigger and add 2 zeros. We've been going over that in class this week. 6 times 3 is 18, and then 6 times 8 is 48, and then I want to make that 48 10 times bigger because there's a 0 there, and that becomes 480. I add this up, that equals 138, 0, 8, 6, 3, and then I can come over here and add that up, 3, 6, 8, 0. Want to add, line up the ones, tens, and hundreds. Make this 8, 11, 8, and you can see that these two numbers equal the same amount. So I have two products that are the same. I know I've done that correctly. This week, what we're going to, or I should say next week, what we're going to do is we're going to do prime factorization. And this is where we factor the numbers down. So what I want to do is, if the number's composite, I want to put a square around it. And I want to say, okay, what times what equals 180? Or what times what equals 18? So I'm going to go 3 times 60. Now, I know 3 is a prime number, so I can put a circle around it. And I know that I don't have to factor that anymore. 60 is a composite number, so I put a square around it, or a box. Then what times what equals 6, or 60? I know that 2 times 3 equals 60. Well, I need to make that 10 times bigger, so I'm going to make this 20. That is a composite number. 3 is a prime number. Now, what equals 20? I can go 4 times 5. 5 is a prime number, so I'm going to circle that. 4 is a composite number, so I'm going to go ahead and put a square around that. And then 2 times 2. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this down. I'm going to go 3 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 3. These are all the numbers that are circled, or the prime numbers, and I write that down. I can write this another way. I can go 3 to the second power times 2 to the second power times 5, and these will both equal 180. We're going to go over this next week in between going over multiplication and division. Have a great weekend.